Hello again, folks. So, I recently did a short where I was checking the velocity on some of my 38 Super reloads, and I was getting about 1250 out of this 38 Super, which is made with a 124 grain SIG V crown. Getting about 1250 out of them, and I knew I could bump it up a little bit, so I did some more testing off camera and eventually got it to, I think the best velocity I got on this was 1331. So then I reloaded some, what is it, Hornady HTP, I think this is, because these are FTX, yeah. HTP, high terminal performance, I think that's what this is. We got these in around the mid-13s. So because of that short, somebody left a comment, this comment right here, I'll put it up there, asking how it compares to 357 Magnum. So thank you for the comment, and I told you I'd do a video on it, and here it is. So we're gonna see how my 38 Super reloads, now these are both 124 grain, got multiple of them out here, 124 grain SIG V crown, and not the FTX HTP, I think these are. If it's not, somebody correct me in there. We're going to see how they compare to some 357 Magnum. So what I have here is some 357 Magnum, 125 grain FTX. This is the closest, this is the only thing my local store had that was actually a hollow point in a similar weight. I mean, they're only 1 grain off. I mean, come on. So if you don't know what this is basically, the FTX I think is the same thing as the XTP, maybe these things are called. They're almost identical, except this one has a little rubber plug in it, I think, to help stop it from plugging up. So we're going to fire this 357 Magnum. Now the box says 1500. I doubt we're going to get that out of my 357 Magnum revolver. And what we're going to use today, so we're going to use the Smith & Wesson 686 Plus. If you don't know what this is, it's a 7-shot 357 Magnum. I think this is a 4 or 4 1/4 inch barrel, but it's the closest also I could get to the 238 Super 1911s I have. And if you didn't notice, in an auto pistol, they measure the chamber as part of the barrel. So they're actually really similar. They actually both have close to 4 1/4 inch, of rifling. So they're going to be very similar. So I also brought out, along with my reloads of that, I brought out some factory 130 grain. So it's a little bit heavier bullet, but we're going to see how fast these go. And the box says 1150. We'll see. We'll see. I also brought out some factory 125 grain jacketed soft point for 357 Magnum. So we're going to see what the factory for 357 Magnum is. I didn't have any reloads loaded up, so I didn't bring any of those. We're going to get some baseline 38 Super factory loads. Now, let me tell you something about the factory. Because of liability stuff, the factories, much like 10mm and some of the other cartridges, they load them real low. So we'll see if we're getting 1150. I also have some of my own reloads of just standard pressure 38 Super to see what we're working with. So what I think I'm going to do is get the baselines first. I'll get the baseline 357 Magnum, and as you can see, got the chronograph out here. Now, I don't have 2 cameras, so you're going to have to believe me. What I tell it is I don't have any reason to lie about if 357 Magnum's more powerful. If I had to hazard a guess right now, I'd say, yeah, it's more powerful. But we're going to see how much more powerful. And can I, with these reloads, and don't worry, these are safe. I've already fired a bunch of these. I'm getting no overpressure signs. I'm getting no bulge cases or anything like that. We're going to see how much more powerful. That's just my guess, though. Maybe I can get close, and I'm not pushing these. This is as much as I'm going. I say low to mid 13s, as long as my goal was to get these pushing over 13. And I think that's pretty good, because that's plus P plus range in this weight in 124s for a 9mm. It's right around there, maybe a little higher. But yeah, so we're going to see what we could do here. So I'm going to load all this stuff up, arrange it, and we'll get started. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. So what we have here is the 125 grain jacketed soft point from Remington. I got 3 rounds in here. We're going to go ahead and first I'm going to fire the 3 rounds out of this. Then I'm going to fire 3 factory rounds out of my 38 Supers, and then I'm going to fire 3 reloads just out of one of the pistols. I'm not going to do both. My reloads out of one of the pistols, so we can get that data. We'll compare all the stuff. Now, again, I said I didn't hop up my standard loads. They're standard target Plinken loads, but we're going to get data just to kind of see where those land. And then I'm going to load them up with all the defensive stuff and see what we get there. So let's shoot the Remington jacketed soft point first. Whoo! Didn't even pick it up. Let me step back a little bit even more. See if I can get it. It's just saying error. Let me back up even more. 1417. So we got one to work. 1417. Good Lord. I wonder if this Hornady is going to reach that 15. All right, I'm going to put 2 more in, see what you know what? Let me put 3 more in. See. All right. I'm going to step way back here. So first number was 1417. 1485. 1495. So yeah, we got close to 1500 with just the range. It says, you know, hog, deer, plinking, range, self-defense. Yeah, that's stepping out. I'm gonna let you know right now, I think that 357 Magnum is significantly more powerful than 38 Super. So I hope that answered your question. But we're gonna continue on with the tests because that's what we do. So let me grab this right quick. So first up, the Colt Gold Cup Trophy. I have 3 rounds of 130 grain, 38 Super. Box says 1150. Let's see what we can get. Okay, did not pick up. 1196. 1183. You know what? I got to get some more. Let me go ahead and put 1 more in here. See if I probably should put 2. Knowing my luck, look at this here. You know what? Yeah, knowing my luck, I'm going to put 2 in. See if you can pick it up. So far, even though this is a slightly heavier bullet, 357 Magnum is significantly more powerful than 38 Super. 1139. So that's the velocity we're getting out of the Colt Gold Cup Trophy. Let me grab the Dan Wesson. This is the Dan Wesson Heirloom in 38 Super. This is a beautiful pistol. This thing is, look at this, ridiculous. It's fantastic. Yeah. So let's see what kind of velocity we get out of this, see if it's similar. By the way, we were hovering close to the 1150, it said in the box. So that's pretty good. Let's see if we can get some data out of this Dan Wesson. You know, it would help if I loaded the dang thing. 1187, 1172, 1192. So that's almost pushing 12. But see, guys, that also shows you the different manufacturers and different tolerance. In one of these, I got almost 70 feet per second faster, same ammunition, same caliber, different guns. So that should show you right there, man. Some guns are just built different. Okay, that was fantastic. Now, the factory loads, I mean, in one case, we got 300 feet per second faster with 357 Magnum. So 357 Magnum, I'm calling it now, is significantly more powerful than 38 Super. But that's with the range stuff. Let's test the defensive stuff. Yeah, so let me put some of this ammo in here. Oh, I forgot. Almost forgot. I got my reloads. I think they're down in the 10s. So we're just going to get that data right now. 1168, 1182, 1171. I stand corrected. I didn't. Huh. You know what, though? No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to test it out of the Colt because I've only done my testing with the Colt because that Dan Wesson is a brand new gun. And I just filmed the first shots short with that thing. It's fantastic. That gun is fantastic. But, you know, out of curiosity, I think the Colt is just giving up less velocity. So last one on this one is 1171. Let's see what the Colt is giving up. No. It's not picking up. Come on, pick up, Colt. 1121. I'm not going to go back and shoot the X. 1121. So compared to the last one, that's 50 feet per second less with the exact same ammo. So that shows you guys, you can get two exact guns come off the assembly line, one after another, and they're going to shoot differently, and you're going to get different velocity. Does that really matters in competition? Yes, because your ammo has to be chronoed. So you could actually download the ammo a little bit more to shoot out of the Dan Wesson than this Colt and have a little bit less recoil, although 38 Super doesn't recoil that much anyway. So now we are going to load. We're going to go to the defensive test. Let me put some, let me get some of this ammo. We're going to start off with the Hornadies, the XTPs. I think I was calling them HTPs, or these are XTPs, I think. I should have looked at the box that I reloaded them from because I just bought the projectiles. All right. We got the SIG V Crown. And we got the Hornadies. First, though, we are going to load I'll load 4 rounds, just in case it doesn't pick up the last, the 3. We'll see. All right. Again, these are Hornady Critical Defense, 124 grain FTX, 357 Magnum, 15. The box says 15. We almost reached 15 with the range stuff. Will this reach it? Let's take a guess. I think yes. So, here we go. No. 14, 15. Did not pick up. Still not picking up. See, this is why I loaded more. Huh. Well, we got one set of data, 14, 15. Let me... Wow. I am surprised. I'm shocked. Not really, but kind of shocked that the Remington, you can even feel in the kick. So what do we get that? 14, 15. I'll put 3 more in. Let's see if we can get the proper data that we were looking for. Come on, man. Come on. 1292. That's an air. Can we get one more? Come on. An air. So we got a 1292 and a 1415. Is that right? Come on, man. I need to get one more. Just give me one more, Hornady. Let me get that over that chronograph. Stop giving me airs, cheap-ass chronograph. 1387. So we got, I think, we'll go back and look. I know I'll put it in there, 1415, 1412, something like that, a 1292, I think, and a 1387. So this stuff's kind of all over the place. The Remington was really humming, though. I think I'll be able to beat one of those with the 38 Super. So we're going to try the Dan Wesson first. And See what we can get out of this sucker. All right. This is the SIG V-Crown, 124 grain. 1301, 1302, and did not pick up. So let me get all right, so that's over 13. Let me try one more. I'm going to put it on top of these Hornadies, and then we're going to go. So I got one last SIG. I'm going to try over this Chrono. Come on, SIG, pick it up. Come on, Chrono, I mean. 1285. Okay. So we'll post the numbers up here. There was 2 over 13, and this one 1285. I was getting higher velocity with the Colt last time I tested this. Maybe we'll get that. I'm going to test with the Colt here in a minute. Now the Hornady XTPs. 1292. Did not pick up. 1305. 1305. Let me try one more. Okay. So that's over 13. 1276. I only got 1 round of each left. I only bought 5 rounds out of each. Let's just see what the Colt could do right quick. So I got I'll put the Hornady on the bottom and the SIG on the top. Let's see if the Colt 1303, 1319, 1319. Not bad. So to answer your question, definitively, yes, 357 Magnum is significantly more powerful than 38 Super. However, pull these back. However, 38 Super is basically, if you guys don't know, these are 355, 356 diameter bullets, which is the same as 9mm. Okay. It's basically a long 9mm. It's like 9x23, which is semi-rimmed. It has more case capacity than a 9mm, so you could stuff more powder in it, so you can ramp it up. The problem becomes case support. In a standard, I don't know if you could see it in here, in the chamber there. In a standard like 1911, like this Colt, it's not ramped. It has a 2-piece barrel, just like it has a ramp in the frame, and then of course there's like a little mini ramp in the barrel, and the barrel, the bottom's relieved to help feeding go in there. But it is not a ramped barrel. So there is, in 38 Super, there's I'm not going to say it's significant, but there is a portion of the case that is unsupported, way at the back, okay? And when you start ramping up pressures, you start getting problems. Now, if you're shooting quality brass, like I reload Starline brass, and when I'm reloading the defensive ammo, I only use brand new, unfired Starline. It's one shot with the defensive ammo, and then it goes into the rest of it for the plinking stuff, and it'll be fine to reload then. I don't run the cases and run them hot. You get your one shot, brand new unfired brass, so it's the strongest as defensive, and then it does not get loaded into defensive ammo again. It gets loaded into plinking ammo. And at that case, you can shoot them all day long. So, yeah. That's the problem with 38 Super on some of these. Now, in the case of this Dan Wesson, it does have, I don't know if you guys can see in there. Oh, there you go. There you go, right there. It does have a ramped barrel. So it is supported way back, much farther back on the case. So potentially this one can handle higher pressure 38 Supers. But With that being said, you can run 38 supers, especially if you go light bullets. You can run them up past 9mm plus P, and even past, if you want to press it, even past 9mm plus P plus, which is not a real thing for SAMI. They don't recognize that stuff. But if you want to, you could technically do it. So we'll have to do one on, is 38 super more powerful than 9mm? Spoiler alert, I'm saying yes. I'm calling it right now. But we're going to do the actual testing later on to see if that's the case. I like 38 super. It's fantastic, but I like weird calibers. I carry a 30 super carry, so I like weird stuff. And I like stuff like this, which is a fantastically beautiful pistol. Good Lord, this thing is, that's why they call it the heirloom. It's gorgeous. But as far as the commenter asked earlier on in the video, how does it compare to 357 Magnum? Well, you see, it's this Remington 125 almost kissed 15. I think given different circumstances, if I shot this whole box, I could probably get a couple that would go over 15, because 1492 is pretty, not just for Columbus sailing the ocean blue, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's 8 feet per second off of 15. I call that close enough to be fair to the 357 Magnum. And that, even to the highest defensive stuff we got here with the Colt, I think it was in 13, 15. It was right over 13. That is what, 180, 175 feet per second faster with the same weight projectile. Actually, the 38 Super was a grain lighter, but that doesn't, you can barely even measure that, man. Come on, it doesn't make a difference. So yes, 357 Magnum is more powerful than 38 Super. A lot more powerful than 38 Super. The problem comes with all revolvers is capacity. A lot of people, and this one even has an extra round, a lot of people don't like revolvers for capacity because you can get a 9mm, a 38 Super, and they make double stack 38 Supers that are good enough. Over 1,300 feet per second, 124, 25 grain projectile traveling at 1,300 feet per second is pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. That I would wager a bet that that would do the job. But if you want real power, you got 357 Magnum, and they don't make double stacks, and you can't get Kunins anymore. So they don't come in an auto pistol. Well, you can, but they're extremely expensive. Yeah, guys, so thanks for watching the video. I hope we learned something from this. Probably not, because I think the majority of us said, well, yeah, 357 Magnum's more powerful than 38 Super. I think a more fair comparison would be 38 Super versus 9mm, and we're going to do that one sometime in the future, but not today. Today, it's a little cold and windy out here, and so we're going to wrap this up. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.